How do you tell somebody that they aren't doing enough? That no matter how hard they try, they will simply never pull the same weight as others. This is one of the toughest challenges when it comes to team management, attempting to balance who does what work such that the project is able to come together in the end. In theory, teamwork exists to make projects go faster. By splitting the work up, it should be completed in less time, right? However, most people can probably agree that at times teamwork can feel sluggish, waiting for the last person to submit or accidentally having two people create duplicate slides. As a student, this has been happening to me since elementary school. I can still remember the day when two of my classmates came in, neither having done the correct pages of homework. In this presentation, I will share with you my secret technique to creating a perfectly balanced team, where everybody does the work that they need to do on time. Sounds impossible, right? Well, this is the story of how I managed to make it work. To begin, I need to give you a little background. From April 2024 until May of 2025, I directed a team of 10 people to make a game called Ronin. This journey was incredibly difficult, with team members leaving just as quickly as others were joining. Our scope was huge for the team, and we wanted to make it work. The first issue that arises is that of differential skill. This is actually one of the most common problems when it comes to team management. People will boast about abilities they simply don't have. That is to say, they just aren't good enough. But how could you possibly tell somebody that, especially when they're your classmate and friend? So, my system offers a solution. They can still do the same work, just split it up into smaller chunks. A novice artist may not be able to draw a whole house, but they could try drawing a door, a window, or even a roof. Pretty soon, you'll have the whole house. An example from Ronin's development where I didn't use this chunk method was a portion of the game called Kadoku. This was the second and largest chapter in the game, featuring a detailed map with lots to do. The necessity of splitting things up should have quickly become apparent, as to prevent certain artists from burning out too quickly. However, I made the crucial mistake of not even thinking about it. This led to one of our artists spending over 2 months on that map right there. Instead of splitting up the project, which could have taken a couple weeks to complete, he was so dedicated that he worked tirelessly, a love. This goes to show that having many people work on one task before moving on is much more efficient than having each individual person work on their own things. The next big issue is that over the course of a project, it is very important to have your team members see their progress. Sometimes it is very difficult for a worker to see just how far they have come for the start. For Ronin, this was a big issue in the mid-section of development. As we finished the fall season and the first chapter of the game, a lot of our developers were burnt out. They worked too hard, too fast. My solution to this were active playtesting sessions. These sessions allowed the developers to see the game as it was at any given point. This let them feel as though the project was materializing into a real finished thing, whether this meant adding one new level or enemy at a time. This kept people's emotions strong and willing to work on this project. By creating a physical game, they felt more attached than just a loose combination of scripts and art. This leads me to the final issue of team management, the hard part. This refers to that dreaded conversation with your teammate, the moment where you let them know they simply aren't pulling their weight. This is a universal struggle, and generally there isn't a real solution to it. Even my own answers to it aren't perfect. Every single person will react differently when told that they need to be putting in more effort. For some, it's a wake-up call, a sign to finally kick it into high gear. For others, however, this may feel incredibly demoralizing. Why should I keep working if I'm only going to be told to put in more effort every single time? Well, in my opinion, the best solution is to simply know your team. Know the abilities of every single team member will give you the chance to give them proper tasks for their ability. Subsequently, I believe it's very important to keep them updated and let them know that they're doing a good job. Whether this is notes in their worksheet or head-to-head talks, whatever works best for them is how you should handle it. So, in the end, Ronin was incredibly successful for the team. The final effort we put into those last burnout days led to the game having nearly 200 downloads and 1,300 site views. The hard work our team put in clearly was shown in the final product. For Ronin, mastering these techniques took me until the last stage of development, when we only had a month left. But hopefully, next time I'll have this tool from the start. And when you finally decide to start your next big group project, you'll have this tool too. Thank you.